Hello everyone, my name is Andy and welcome back to Deals and Steals. What you're looking at here is something that I don't think I've posted a video of. I have a couple clips I recorded. This is the New Neighbor Effects Expanse. I don't know which version, but if nothing else they call it the pocket knife version. Basically what this does is it allows you to insert via your computer with USB, via USB, put in presets of different effects. New Neighbor is very known for their wet reverb algorithm or print or whatever you want to call it, as well as a bunch of other things. So my understanding is you can put one in there and just have this pedal alone. 3 knobs, it is stereo, which is pretty cool, all that stuff. But the point of having this controller is that you can actually have 4 different presets in here, rather 4 different types of effects. This has like a chorus, a couple delays, and I believe one of them is a reverb, but again, you can do a pretty healthy mixture of different things. And then you can also have 2 presets per channel. Now those presets are saved immediately depending on where you twist your knobs. So if I'm on the yellow preset of white, which is a delay, that's what it's going to be. If I switch away and change this and switch back, it'll still be where I left it. But the second I change it, come back, that's what it's going to be. Anyway, there's a lot going on in here. Another thing that's cool is you can add an expression pedal for each of the controls. Obviously, those controls vary based on the effect that you have in it, so that's why they're not labeled. Why am I talking about all this? I just wanted to bring it up. It is an exceptional product. It is so cool. One of my favorite pedals that I own is the Immerse Mark II, which is a standalone stereo reverb pedal that they make. It is phenomenal. Anyway, why am I talking about this? It's because I'm going to do a partial trade into something else. Something that, while I haven't been looking for it, it's kind of been on my radar for years now, coming up on a decade. Just something kind of different that I hope you guys are going to like. So here it is. So here it is. This is the Evil Robot. This was made, rather the first run was made, I think 2012 about, so again, coming up on 10 years. They did a fairly short run, I believe, of combos as well as heads and cabinets. But the Evil Robot is based on Phil X's very famous Tone Master. I believe it's the Magnatone Tone Master. Otherwise, I think the other model it's noted as is the Troubadour 214, which is an accordion amp that, for some reason, gives some excellent overdrive when a guitar is plugged into it. So they made that short run of hand-wired boutique amps in conjunction with Kasha amps, John Kasha, the man behind it. They were really expensive. So they made a run of, import versions. I don't remember what country, but not here. So, nice cover. Evil Robot also happens to be the name of a Drills song. Phil's band, The Drills, that's been around for quite a while. It was originally going to be called the Tone Monster, but some company, I cannot remember who, already owned that. So this is a 112 combo, and it's pretty small. Like, to me, it's pretty small. And it's got kind of a retro vibe in the sense that it's got all these controls on the back, which I'm not really used to. We have a high and low input, high gain, low gain input, normal, mellow, bright switch, loudness A and B, which, I think overall really comes down to it being gain. A is going to be the louder one. There is a foot switch, but you can switch A to B by pulling this one. Tone stack, it's just a tone knob. So we'll have to see how that reacts, how that works. The guy who I purchased this from, I'm the second owner. The guy who I purchased this from bought it new. And he said one thing that he put in the effects loop, which is sweet. This was added on this model. The hand-wired amp doesn't have that. There's a vibrato section, which is pretty cool. And then there is a master volume, which is nice. You can, really crank that gain or gains, and then keep this quiet. 30 watts. standby. You can also switch to 18 watts, which is nice, and then obviously on off. Panel below, foot switch, which is here. This is probably the weakest point of the amp, is this absolutely plastic foot switch. It weighs basically nothing. Oops, sorry, there you go. But it is the matching switch, ooh ah. Two select channels are loudness A and B. So there is technically 2 channels on the amp, which is nice. And then turning the vibrato on and off. My understanding is that if you use the effects loop, the vibrato effect will not work. So it's one or the other. In this panel, you do have the option to add an external speaker, and I believe it's not necessarily added so much as replace. So I don't believe the 12-inch speaker in the amp will work if you're using the expansion or extension speaker, but you can switch 8 or 16 ohms. Plug in for the foot switch, which is looks like a 5-pin MIDI cable. I'm gonna see if I love this as much as I believe I am going to. I'm gonna see about maybe making a new one of these. Or seeing what can be purchased online. A little fan because it's going to get hot. I believe there are 7 tubes in this bad boy. I think it's 4 power tubes, 4 6L6, as well as 3 preamp tubes, and I believe 2 of them are used for the preamp, and then the third one is actually for the effects loop, to my understanding. It is a tube buffered effects loop, which I've heard of before, never seen in action. Guess we'll see what it really means. Other thing, I don't know if you can see it under there. Yep. So this is a WGS Warehouse Guitar Speakers branded speaker. That is not what originally came in the amp. So the original owner did remove the original speaker and switched it out. What he told me, and this makes sense, so the amp, again, is modeled after Phil's I think it's 1959 Tone Master Troubadour. And I believe the speaker has a very, very loose, broken-in feel. I believe the speaker, like the electronics, were so modeled after the amp that the speaker, I guess, has kind of a flubby response because it's got a, it's based off of a 60 or so, 70 or so, no, 60 or so year old speaker. So, what's in there is a Warehouse Guitar Speakers WGS Veteran 30, so a vintage 30, which I'm indifferent on in the sense of it being a V30. I have other cabs with V30s. I was kind of hoping for, I guess, the real thing, but regardless, I am ecstatic. I am ecstatic to have the opportunity to try this out. Again, this is the import model, the C30, I believe is what they called it. Phil X Custom 214 by Tone Americana, designed by Kasha Amps, I don't know. But the C30, again, is the import version, and while I definitely could not afford $750 at the time, it seemed like a great deal. Obviously, it had a lower price point. It was trying to reach more, beginners, buyers, people who can't just, buy hand-wired stuff on a whim. But I just remember them going fairly quickly, and that was kind of it. So, in a way, I think this is somewhat rare. Again, there's $750 new. I traded, going back to the very beginning of the video, I traded that pedal, the New Neighbor, as a partial trade. We traded that at about $200, and I paid $190 cash for this. So I did pay somewhere in the realm of $200 for the New Neighbor, so call it $390 paid out for the amp. But for something pretty unique like this, I would say it's totally worth it. It's in great shape. I think there's a scuff on the Tolex on the bottom. It's got the original cover. It's got the foot switch. I mean, if it had the outer box, that would be, it'd be cool, but it wouldn't really mean anything. So, I'm gonna get the sucker plugged in, and unfortunately, I am gonna face it toward you, which is only unfortunate because then you can't see the controls. Maybe it doesn't matter. I think I'm going to face it towards you. I'm just going off my phone mic. Unfortunately, I don't have a fancy... I do have an SM57, but whatever. I don't have the setup for it right now. So I'm going to plug this in. Okay, everyone. We have got the Evil Robot wired up in true Phil X fashion, if you've ever watched his Fretted Americana videos. We have a Bad Monkey, has our overdrive going into the front of the amp. You got the foot switch down there, and in the effects loop, I've got a PH2 phaser from Boss as well as a DD3. The phaser, I'm just gonna try for a couple seconds. The rate knob is busted on that one, so it's not set to where I want it, but I wanted to play with that pedal. So anyway, we're in standby. If you hear like a whir, it's that fan that's on the back panel that you saw. At a glance, kind of annoying. I don't know how much that would affect recording. Obviously the mic will be on the speaker up front, but kind of interesting. Any other noise you might hear. We do have a furnace in the back. Door is shut right now, but it's not perfect. We're just gonna roll with it. Plugged into my Schecter Nick Johnston HSS, so it's a Strat with a humbucker. Currently in standby. Switching to 18 watts. Let's see what we got. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Guitar. Out. Into the pedal. Out to the amp. Into the low gain. Oh, wait. No? Well, stand by a moment. We're going to unplug the pedals from the effects loop and just start with the amp. Okay. Okay, we have noise. Bump the master. A little bit of vibrato. Might as well play with that since it's here. No? Super subtle. Okay, so I'm on loudness B, or channel B. Loudness is all the way up. Once again, the master is about 10 o'clock. Sounds nice. Currently in the bridge humbucker. And we've got the normal brightness right now. Oh. Tone's at noon, I'm going to bump it. Vibrato off. So maybe... I'm going to max the tone out and see if it doesn't go too sharp. Okay, so it gets brighter. Neck pickup. A tune. Okay. Switching over to A. Switch over to bright. If we put the bad monkey on. Okay. Go to the mellow. So that's the loudness on A, which is the higher gain of the two cranked. I'm going to bump the tone up a little bit. this on standby. Switch it back to normal. Go in the high gain side. Back on to 18. There we go. Holy mackerel. Okay, loudness at noon. Let's drop the master. So master's at like 3 o'clock. Loudness now all the way up on A, which is the higher gain. Damn. And so the indicator on the foot switch is B, and then A is the red. So the gain channel, if you will. And there is a light that switches back and forth on A and B, which is nice. Which is especially relevant if you don't have the foot switch and you pull the pop to get to A. Okay, cool. So with that in mind, it is truly 2 channels. That's one thing I wasn't entirely understanding. So still on A, loudness at noon. Nice. That's cool. I'm gonna go bold, and so no settings change, switch to 30 watts. So, okay, A. So I just dropped the volume on my guitar to like 5, and it's seems to follow the claims of it's very reactive to your playing, which is a very big thing with Phil. Okay, so we're going to bring the loudness back down. We're still at 30 watts. I'm going to bring the master up a smidge, switch to bright. So loudness at noon on channel A. So brightness on, or it's on bright rather. Okay, so the brightness is pretty reactive. So you can get it to rip. Okay, so the only thing that's really missing from this demo is 2 things. 1, the original speaker. I'm over it. 2, let's plug in those effects. Send. Return. Oh, see, that's a problem. Huh. Send. Into here. Through here. Both of these are powered. Out. Return. Doesn't seem to like that. Turning the amp off. Maybe it got quieter. Because again, that fan isn't spinning. So now, with everything plugged in again, let's turn it back on. Nothing. What did I do wrong? Okay, well, that's something that I want to get addressed. Oh, God. okay, don't F with the effects loop while you're running the amp. That sounded effing awful. Okay. Well, we're back. Well, the amp sounds cool. I'm not in the ideal setting right now. Weighs about 28 pounds is my understanding, so definitely not a backbreaker. Plenty loud, giggable, I would certainly say. I'm gonna bring that tone back to the middle and up the loudness. Got a little hum coming from the single coils. And then nothing from the humbucker. Nice. Like, obviously, but that's pretty significant. Once again, the bright switch is all the way bright. We're at 30 watts. Tone is in the middle. Tone all the way up. Probably a little piercing in your ears right now. I'm sorry. I'm sure this thing is clipping like mad. But that is, yeah. So picking lightly. Picking hard. So even tone all the way up doesn't sound super ice picky. Maybe I touched on it earlier, but I guess to help out with the tone shaping, the previous owner did put Boss GE7 EQ equalizer in the loop, which is a cool idea. So I'm gonna definitely try that at some point. Assuming I get the loop to work. So yeah, I will just have to learn to control the beast, as it were, because switching over to 18. I mean, again, at a glance it sounds good, kind of honky. I don't know if that's what you guys are hearing, if not complete blowout or peaking right now, but I'm gonna split that humbucker so my bridge is a single coil. Well, I'm gonna end the video here, and if I get that effects loop working in the next few, I will start recording again. But until then, this has been Deals and Steals, the Evil Robot, Tone Americana, Phil X, Tone Master clone thing. I mean, if nothing else, it looks super cool. Again, essentially $390 out of pocket with the pedal trade. A deal. A steal? I don't know. I don't see these at all, so it's kind of rare. But is it sought after? Maybe. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye. Oh, or not. Okay, I'm 99% certain I have the loop plugged in correctly. I guess I was wrong. I'm not going to tell you how it plugged in because this honestly seems backwards. Anyway. That's harsh. Again, the phaser's kind of weird right now because that's also cool because the rate knob is stuck at a very high point and I can't do anything about it right now. Well, anyway, thanks again for watching. Once again, this is the Evil Robot C30. Bye-bye.